All right, a little bit of epic gold rush music, Western.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, you got to have the little music interludes.
The bumpers, yeah.
Yeah, bumpers,
I like
right?
It. I like
yes.
it. All that radio lingo.
Yes.
I know some of that
You
radio
do.
lingo. Some of it. That
Yes.
was about the extent of my radio knowledge. On air and bumper.
Yes, okay. Well done.
So we are back with Steve Clausen from Colorado, Pawn and Jewelry.
Yes, sir.
Pawn and Jewelry Store.
Pawn and jewelry store, yeah.
Not shop.
Not shop.
See, I pay attention.
Yeah.
So you also want to talk about some other stuff.
Yeah. One of the things that we're locally owned, obviously, my wife and I live here in town. Our family's here. And we like to get involved in the community. We're involved in a lot of different charities. And one thing that's coming up real quickly is, first of all, the Stewart Air Show is coming up. And we always help them out with trying to promote the air show and celebrate. They do stuff for the veterans.
Is that still a go this year?
Yeah.
This year it's a go. It's
really?
And they got a really, really good show. I mean, they even have, I think, a motorcycle guy doing flips out on the track. And
They always have a great. I mean, it's always a great show. I was just surprised.
I'm just crossing my finger that we don't get rained out. Last year, the rained, and then unfortunately, that accident really made it tough.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
So
I'm just surprised with the COVID stuff.
They're talking about actually having a guy jump a jet. He's gonna with
the motorcycle. Yes.
Guy.
Yes.
He's gonna jump over a flying jet.
You got to go see that.
Flying jet.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be obviously making a very low pass, but yes.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
Right over the deck. So he's going.
But no, we get involved with a lot of charities like the YMCA. We're in the next month on November 7th at Port St. Lucie. They're doing an amazing race, and what they're doing is they're getting teams of 4 that are paying money to get into this, and it's all for the YMCA to help the kids at the YMCA. And what they're going to do is they're going to go to different businesses, so they're going to get a clue. So it's kind of like the TV show. They're going to get clues to go to a certain business, and then at the business, we're going to give them a task or puzzle to do, and they have to figure out this puzzle. Once they get this puzzle, then they get the next clue to the next business.
Okay, the TV show.
So it's going to be fun, just like the TV show. So on November 7th, it's the Port St. Lucie Amazing Race for YMCA, and then on November 14th is the Stewart one.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to that, and that should be a lot of fun.
Are the teams picked out yet already, or can you still sign up?
You can
for those?
still sign up.
Okay.
Call the YMCA, and there's still some spots open. I think it's $200 to sign up a team of 4.
Well, it's for charity.
But yeah, it's a fun deal and a good deal.
The TV show always looked a lot of fun. It always looked like a lot of fun.
Yep. And then we do a lot with the Boys and Girls Club in Port St. Lucie and here in Stewart, and then other well-worth organizations that we are involved with.
Nice. And how long have you owned Colorado Pawn?
Since 2010, so we're at 10 years.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And how long have you been a member of the club?
About 6 years, I think.
Easily.
7 years.
I just found, because they asked me, we were talking about that last week also, who was a member for how long, and I couldn't remember how long I was. I found the little clock that I was given when I was president as a thank you, and it was 1995.
Wow.
So I got 25 years in.
Nice.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been that long. So.
Yeah, it feels like a minute steak, right?
Sometimes, yeah, because your kids are like, my oldest is 30, almost 33, so he was 8. It's like, yikes, that was quick.
Yeah.
What happened?
How did this happen?
Right, my kids are getting older, but I'm not.
Right.
Well, that's a good problem to have.
Well,
the kids are getting older, and you're not.
I say that, but I only say
Dorian
that.
Gray.
I only say that with the largest of tongue in cheek, because there's some days when you wake up, it's like, oh man, really?
Your knees, your back.
Right.
Yep. Sound like a breakfast cereal waking up in the morning.
Snap, crackle, pop. Yeah.
But just keep on going. Put your head down.
Yeah.
Don't look back. And
well, I'm glad to hear that. Of course, this is nothing new, though, that you and your wife are so involved in the community too.
Yeah, we have.
I mean, this is not a recent iteration.
No.
This is part of your culture, part of your
Yes.
business.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's part of our culture in the business. We're
Mhm.
here to help out and serve the community, not
Right.
only with the pawn store, but also with the profits we make, where we, reap a lot back into the community. And we have fun doing it. It's great to see. I've had people come in and say, "Hey, thank you so much for helping." And my kid, he
Right.
goes, he's involved with the Boys and Girls Club, and what you guys do is very helpful for us. So.
No, there's a lot of good charities out there. And it's also, like I say this because I know some movers in the industry sometimes gets a bad reputation. And I know that sometimes the pawn business too, but it's not like, we sometimes, because of bad players in the thing, get some bad,
Right.
But guys like you, it's like you are helping people, because sometimes that person just needs that $20, that $40
Right.
just to get through over the hump, and he gets over that hump, and then he can finish out what he's supposed to do, and move on from there. And that's,
Yeah. Well, I always say, our American culture is one of, we whatever we want, we get. And we have this plenty thing that a lot of the people in America just buy things because it's the latest thing out there.
true.
And then when the bills come in, they go, "Oh, shoot,
Right.
I don't have money to pay my bill." So they bring, the new PS5 into us, say, "Hey, Steve, we just got this, but I need $200 to do this. Can you do this for me?" And we give them a loan, and they come back and pick it up. We live in a land of plenty. America, is that, and we tend to, mortgage our homes and spend money.
Overextended, yeah.
So a lot of people just live that way, and that's
That's
just
true.
the way of life for people. They just live on the edge, and when something happens, we're there to help them. And the other thing, that kind of gives us a bad name is, people come in and we offer them, $3,000 on a diamond that they paid $12,000 for.
Right.
And they go, "Well, you're crazy." And, the truth of it though is, wholesale value of that stone, if you look on the Rappaport sheet, which is like the wholesale diamond New York exchange rate, is probably $5,000.
Right.
And if I have a dealer or somebody that you can sell it to, they wouldn't even give you the $3,000 that I'm offering. So it's really tough. I mean, I
Right.
guess it's kind of like you buy a new car, you pay $50,000, and a year later, if you can get $30,000,
Right.
that's lucky. You're
Right.
probably going to get 20 or something like that.
But even if the stuff appreciates from the time they bought it to the time they pawn it to you, you still have to put it on the secondary market anyway.
Yeah, well,
And-
the only thing that could appreciate, diamonds could appreciate it, but they haven't like gold and silver. Like if I bought a gold chain back, in the early '80s, and I bring it into a shop, you may have paid $300 for this chain, and I'm offering you $1,200 now.
right.
Okay, and it's just because
So the gold.
the gold has
Right.
gone up. I mean, it was, $360 back there, and now it's $1,900. So.
And no one's brought in a 1959 Les Paul for you to hold on.
No, we have had some nice Les Pauls though. I haven't had any for a while though, but we have had some really, really nice ones.
A buddy
So you
of
got
mine-
to put John's phone number in your speed dial.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
Right.
a 1959 Les Paul. Huh?
That's like the holy grail of Les Pauls.
Wow.
A friend of mine who I occasionally played with, I think he brought in a 60. We had a little jam session sometime last year and a half ago, and he brought in his either dad's or his uncle's 19. It was either a 60 or a 61.
I've had a 60s Les Paul. I want to say a 62.
And it
or
was
63.
just, I mean, I think part of it actually is the story behind it, the provenance, and then the whole thing about, the mystique of a guitar that's 60 years old as opposed to the newer ones. But it did play nice, whether it was placebo effect or not, whether it actually played as nice as I thought it played. But it's fun. There's you must come across some really cool stuff though.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
All right, what's all right in recent memory? What's like the coolest thing that's come through your shop?
In recent memory, the coolest thing,
or any memory really? It doesn't have to be recent.
I mean, I the one that I always share is, we've had like an eagle, and it's a Stoops, S Stoops eagle. It's a big brass eagle. This thing has an appraisal of $38,000.
Whoa.
And that's sitting at our store in Port St. Lucie. It's on I actually built a huge pedestal. It's on the pedestal. So when you walk in, if you look to your left, when you walk in, you see this huge brass eagle sitting up
That's
there.
kind of cool. How big is it?
It weighs 160 pounds.
Okay.
And the wingspan's about 5.5 feet.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, it wouldn't fit in my house.
How long have you had that?
That I got like in probably 2014, so about 6-7 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah,
have
but
it?
it's there. I mean, I've had people offer me some money for it, but it's just, I don't really sell it. I did see there was a TV show, the one where they buy units, the storage units.
Yeah.
Storage Wars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was one where they bought a storage unit and one of these was in there.
Whoa.
And they sold it for $15,000.
Wow.
Now I've been offered 8,000 and I would not take it. So,
That's cool.
but yeah, that's very cool. We had you like guitars, so we had this framed like display case, and it was from the Eagles, and it had a guitar in there, and it had pictures of all the Eagles in
Right.
it, and it was signed by the
Okay.
different members of the Eagles.
That's kind of cool.
That was kind of cool.
Typically, when they do those kind of guitars, they do like the really low end guitars,
Yeah.
and then the band signs it, and then
Yes, I don't
yeah.
think it was a U.S. Les Paul. It was just
typically they're
it
Fenders.
was a blue guitar. It was a Fender,
typically they're
yeah.
Fender
Uh-huh.
Mexican Strats, or
Right.
even the Chinese
Yes.
Strats, but
But it was really cool.
it is cool. I mean, it's
Yeah.
cool that they're signed and cased. I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's like instead of having them sign a photograph, having a signed guitar is actually kind of
Right.
cool. So,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
have
and
it.
it was encased with everything. I mean, I even in recent time, I even had what's the Chiefs Mahomes. I had a Mahomes jersey
Okay.
signed when he was when he started his first year, when he was a rookie, and that was cool. And we sold that when they won the championship.
Do you have a lot of sports
Gotcha.
memorabilia at your place?
Not a lot.
Not so
We
much?
have a few. Yeah, we have a few. We'll get some stuff. Like right now, I have a jersey that's signed by Brady's when he was at Patriots. So it's a Patriots
Oh wow.
jersey, and
Tom
it's
Brady, huh?
it's his favorite receiver, the little kid.
Oh, Edelman?
Edelman. Yep, I have an Edelman signed jersey there. It's really cool.
Wow.
I used to watch sports.
You used
In
to
the
watch.
I
olden
used to watch.
days.
I don't watch anymore. Oh, back to the Eagles.
There you go, the Eagles.
Frank's paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, a little bumper music for us as we head out on our last break. Well,
Project Lift.
my bumper music.
That's right. Something for everybody.
I was telling Frank off the air, I have been to that corner in Winslow, Arizona. A buddy of mine were driving on Route 66 on our way to Albuquerque, where we made the left turn, the classic left turn at Albuquerque. And for those Bugs Bunny fans out there. And we actually got a picture of us standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona.
All right.
It was fun. It was, I actually bought the t-shirt. It was very touristy, but how many times am I going to be standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona?
This was it.
So I did, and it was fun.
Good
I
for
still have
you.
it. Maybe next time I'll wear it.
All right. I'll look forward to that.
So
awesome.
during the break, our guest was getting some inside information.
Aside from my favorite woman, my wife.
Getting some show prep notes. So
yeah, there's a couple of other great organizations that we support and we love, and that's Project Lift with Bob. We're in Palm City. We've been supporting them, and they're great. They help a lot of kids. They help kids that are dropouts from high school and stuff, and they teach them trades. So they teach them how to fix guitars. I mean, we donate guitars, and they fix them, make them beautiful. They teach them printing skills. They teach them auto mechanics. They give them skills so they can become a useful member of society. Plus, they do counseling and stuff like that. The other organization we do is the Police Athletic League, the Martin County Police Athletic League with Mr. Noel Del Valle. I mean, he's doing a great job right now, and that's going to be a growing system that's going to, because they just signed a lease for a new location in Stewart, and so they're going to build this big place to help kids. And the same thing, it's after school, kids can go in there, box, and they teach them. They have counseling school. They teach them skills, and they have a lot of fun. They have kids that get involved, and it really helps them.
I think the trade stuff is becoming much more prevalent again these days.
In school, a lot of the schools don't teach auto mechanics and stuff like that anymore.
No.
The other thing we were involved is like the teachers. We love supporting the teachers, Martin County and Port St. Lucie. We got schools in Port St. Lucie. We have a school in Port St. Lucie that we're helping out, and then a couple of teachers in schools here in Martin County. So we like to go out and help with the community, and just choose some schools that are close to the store and get involved and see what we can do to help them.
Yeah.
That Project Lift sounds good too, because who wasn't really shut down during COVID? Auto mechanics. Yep. People's cars were still
had to run.
Those guys are always busy.
Yes.
I've never known an auto mechanic that complains about not having enough work. And I've known how many over year. Like, they're all busy all the time.
Yep.
So
like MCB has Crown Care.
Right.
He's
exactly.
great.
Todd's great.
Todd's great.
Todd's worked on a couple of my cars, and he'll be working on a few more. I've got that one that I'm going to give him.
And he just,
one of these days.
He just moved into a bigger facility
Right.
over in Stewart. So
Right.
he's in Palm City there. So
yeah. So those
That's
guys
good
are
for
always
him.
busy. And the AC guy, like with Kevin Sharkey, AC guys in Florida, especially,
Yeah.
and auto mechanics, they're always busy.
Yeah.
They're never not busy. So kids need to know that you can make a good living with the trades.
right. Yep.
Because you can.
and it's needed.
It's
'cause
needed, and you can
gotta
do
fix
very
things.
well.
Yeah.
You can do very well.
Plus, we all have cars, so if you can take care of your own car, you can save a little money.
True. My middle,
And you know how it works.
yeah. My middle son does a lot of
his.
his own work because he's mechanically oriented. He works. He actually just left Triumph, but he was working at Triumph for a long time,
Mhm.
doing airplane stuff, and he's going to be going to school, I think, in Tallahassee probably next year for another program to learn some more stuff. But trade stuff, he's going to do just fine. So
Yeah.
Right.
it's a good program.
Right. Yep. And we don't see that as much here in the U.S. It's most of that is farmed out to other countries. So
Yeah.
it's and then a lot of the like car stuff, you can't work on them. It's like you have to tear the whole thing apart or replace them now.
Yeah.
They're not, they make them to where they're unitized, and
and I'll compete.
You got to
yeah.
just order another one.
Yeah, there's some part over here that's small and not expensive, but you have to take off 75 pieces over here that you spend $200 in parts, but there's $1,200 in labor to get that $200 part. Yeah, familiar with that too. On the newer cars, it's all the newer stuff.
Yeah, the newer cars are tough to work on.
Yeah, no, the newer cars are merely a series of computers on a platform. It's like an iPad with wheels.
We sound like a bunch of grumpy old men right now.
Yeah, right.
I remember, and I'm not.
Well, it's true. I mean, cars today are they're not the mechanical beast, the '60s that I grew up with.
No. But hopefully it's changing again too. Like, and with the trend to electric cars, that may compartmentalize it more, but make it a little easier, hopefully, to do stuff. I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
What I hear in some of these electric cars, it's amazing. They go like 0 to 60 in 1.5 seconds or something like that. It's like,
I drove a friend of mine has a Tesla up in Orlando, the bigger 4-door sedan.
Right. So Model S,
whatever the model. Yeah, it's the bigger one. And so I was at his house for a weekend one time. He goes, "You want to take it for a drive?" I said, "Sure, let's go." That thing is so quick.
Yeah.
It's like it's like there's no lag time. There's no lag time. It just, you put your foot on the gas and it goes.
Instant go.
So soon we're going to have
it's fun to drive.
Hot rods and driving on the speedway with electric cars.
Yeah.
They're doing it now.
Yeah, I think some are. Yeah.
I've watched some on YouTube, some races. It's insane.
Yeah, we'll have NASCAR with electric cars. No more gas.
Refueling might be tough though.
Well,
you have to just go plug them in for 30 seconds.
See, I don't think. Yeah, I think that's the issue because.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Tesla truck, the Cybertruck. Now that's got a 500-mile range.
Right.
But not at high speed.
And probably not towing anything.
Right. But 500-mile range. That's not a bad. I showed that picture to my wife last night on the phone, and she couldn't believe it. I was telling her Tesla making a truck. She's I know. I go, yeah, really. It's amazing.
Yeah. I would get one, but if you take it's the long distance driving that's the problem.
Right.
Because you can drive 400 miles, but if you're driving to New York or New Jersey or someplace else and you drive your 400 miles, okay, you're out of energy.
Right.
It's not simple pulling into a gas station and 30 seconds later, or 2 minutes later, you filled up your gas tank.
So the way Tesla's got it wired, pardon the pun, is
you did that on purpose.
So they actually have a suite of charging stations on your onboard computer. So it'll tell you where the nearest one is for a quick charge. And the charging stations are always by a restaurant. So you plug your car in, take a 45-minute break, and it's a supercharger, right? So you go and eat something, use the facilities. By the time you're done, your car is good to go.
Really?
So
I wonder if that's the same thing, technology. Like if you fast charge your batteries, they typically don't last as long if you do the slow charge.
Right.
That's the way I understand it. But
that's the trickle charge.
Right.
Exactly right. So the way they get around that, Tesla bought a company called Maxwell out of California. And so they do these capacitors. So this capacitors can suck up the energy really quick. And then the capacitors trickle charge it to the car as you're driving.
Interesting. I figured they'll come up with some solution.
Problem, there's always somebody's going to come up with an answer.
I was thinking maybe they just swap out the batteries, but that's probably too problem.
No. But you think of it like a skateboard.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe
they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out soon. Smarter people than we are working on that problem.
Yes. 4.5 minutes.
So, Steve, in your last 4.5 minutes, what do you want to have? A website, phone numbers, locations again?
We have a website. Yes, it's Colorado Jewelry, Pawn Jewelry, coloradopawnjewelry.com. You go on there. There's actually a little icon. You can ask a question. You can just hit the little lady comes up with a question and you can put it in there. Both stores, our phone numbers are textable. So if you have something and you're not sure whether to bring it in or not, hey, would you take that? You can call us and ask us. And what we'll tell you to do sometimes is just, hey, do me a favor, just shoot a picture of it, try to get the model number and, so we can see the shape of the item. Is it in good shape? Because obviously if it's rusted and it doesn't work, then we're not interested because
Right.
we have to try to resell it. But you know, a lot of people are just taking their phone and taking a picture of whatever they have to sell and sending it in and putting their name, say, hey, I have this. You know, I paid $600 for it. I got it, you know, in 3 years ago, and I don't use it anymore. Are you guys interested in buying something like this? You know, that's both numbers are textable. The Stewart number is 772-283-3660, and then the Port St. Lucie store's number is 772-335-1896.
And pretty much the only two things you kind of avoid are guns
Guns and car audio.
and car audio.
Yeah.
But everything else you'll definitely take a look at.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it.
Okay.
And we'll obviously the easiest thing is jewelry,
Right.
because it's smaller, and it's, you know, we can always get rid of it. You
it's
know,
easier
for
to value,
example,
too.
if you bring something electronics, you know, I have to, you know, if I buy something, I have to hold it in the back for 30 days. And, you know, sometimes when I bring it back out, now it's not working. You know, something happens. You know, I don't know. You know, with gold and silver, there's intrinsic value. It's smaller. We can put it in a safe.
Right.
You know, if you bring in, you know, like a motorcycle, we'll take a motorcycle. But, you know, we haven't had great luck with motorcycles.
Okay.
Because they end up not starting. The carburetor gets messed up, and it's just tougher. So, but yeah, any kind of lawn equipment, tools, you know, like I kept saying, jewelry, you know, like the guitars. We have any kind of musical instruments like saxophones and stuff. But anything of value, we'll look at.
Well, hit them up. Colorado Pawn and Jewelry, 2 locations, Martin County, St. Lucie County. Steve, thanks for
And they can
coming
find
in.
them on Facebook too.
Yep, Facebook as well.
Facebook, we're on Facebook, we're all over Facebook Marketplace, and we always popping in cool stuff out there so you can see it.
Nice.
Franks, good to see you. Good to see you back.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to
Nice
be
to
with
be
you
here, guys. It was
All
fun.
right.
Thanks.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
We'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
I'm not sure who our guest is, but we'll figure that out later.
Yes.
Have a good night.
All right.